Honestly, what an amazing comeback chapter from Oshi No Ko. No incest, Kana and Memcho are back, Crow Girl's gonna be here for the long run, and Aqua's finally getting us back to the movie. I know last week I told you that we should start thinking about dropping the manga, and if you did, well, it's not my problem. Pick it back up and read it. And before we get into the analysis, like the video, subscribe, join the Discord in the description, and check out my boy POZU. His link is also in the description. My guy makes some pretty good anime recommendations. Okay, so starting off again with Miyako, who announces to the Bikomachi trio that the 15-year lie movie is going to begin and that it's going to be a big job for Strawberry Productions as 4 of their star talents will be in the movie. Miyako goes on with the schedule and Ruby chips in about finally getting a break due to all her jobs. I like the addition of Memcho laughing in the background because we all know she hasn't been doing anything for the longest time. But Miyako quickly corrects Ruby, telling her that she won't be getting to rest for those days because they'll have to use those days for Kana's graduation. I hate that the English translator uses the word performance because at first glance you'd think that Kana is going to have a performance with her being an actor and all. Anyways, Ichigo pops his head in, telling the 2 girls that they won't be getting to attend Kana's graduation because they have a live tour at the same time. Ruby gets all upset because I think she wanted to attend Kana's graduation, and Kana just tries to make everyone feel gratitude and empathy towards her and tries to make everyone feel bad for not coming to her graduation. Classic Kana activities as usual. Then the producer pops his head in with the final script. Miyako thanks him for going out of his way to deliver it, and Ruby takes a shot at the producer, flexing her money situation compared to his. Memcho takes the script and is still surprised that she made the cut. But don't worry Memcho, we're all still scratching our heads too. But Kana does make a good point, telling Memcho that she's been playing the role of a high schooler this whole time and that there's nothing to worry about. And judging from her reaction, Memcho isn't very happy to hear that. Then the producer mentions that they're still looking for a child actor and that there aren't too many talented ones that are able to read long lines and handle tough situations. Kana though lets everyone know how great she is, and yeah Ruby, she's done that forever and it doesn't look like she's gonna stop anytime soon. We flip to Aqua now, who's still on the balcony, and the Crow Girl is back. She reads Aqua like a book again, and this is the first time we see Aqua start to push away from the Crow Girl. He asks her if she's got anything better to do, and the Crow Girl tells us that she's here to help Aqua so he can reach the right destiny. But what that destiny may be, I'm not too sure. Anyways, Aqua seems to think that the Crow Girl is a god, which is honestly a stretch because she hasn't really done anything too abnormal. The Crow Girl turns the question onto Aqua, telling him that he too could be a god as he's been reincarnated with all his past memories. Aqua tries digging a little deeper and we find out that the Crow Girl came from a real person and that she has a real body. She does however mention her mother wasn't normal, which opens a gate of possibilities. Then Aqua out of nowhere tries to get the Crow Girl to be in the movie. Crow Girl obviously declines and she tells us a bit about her powers and that she has the abilities to transfer the memories of the dead to the body of a newborn. So this tells us that the Crow Girl was most likely in Miyazaki as Aqua and Ruby were reincarnated at the hospital where they both died. Anyways, the 2 argue for a while and the Crow Girl thinks that Aqua has lost all rationality. But Aqua stays persistent until the Crow Girl gives in and decides to join the movie, and then the chapter ends with the first 2 people besides Aqua, Ruby, and the producer acknowledging the Crow Girl. That's the end of the manga analysis. Now let's move on to Kana's graduation and Bikomachi's live tour. It's interesting that Akka is even going to add this into the story, as I thought the movie arc would be the final arc. With this addition to the plot, the movie will end up being finished before these 2 events, which kind of messes up the timeline in the story. Like I've said before, my theory is that Aqua will end up dying in order to kill Hikaru, but I guess this could still happen depending on when Aqua decides to kill him. Obviously Aqua would have to finish his lines in the movie, but we have to ask ourselves, what are Aqua's true motives? Well, I think it's 2 things. One is to kill Hikaru and the other is to carry out Ai's plan, which is to reveal what she's been hiding all this time. So if Aqua were to wait until the movie was out to the public, that way Hikaru would get to see it and Aqua would draw him out, Kana, Memcho, and Ruby would all be away from him. It does make sense for Aqua to wait, but I don't think he'll have the option. I think Hikaru knows what's going on as we saw him kill the producer's first choice to be the role of Ai. So if Hikaru does know, I'm sure he won't be waiting until that movie comes out and everybody knows Ai's secret. I think it was right during the production of the movie, and there's a good chance that this movie won't ever be seen by the public. Okay, now let's move on to the Crow Girl. Definitely a huge surprise. It's been clear that throughout the entire story, Aqua has been the only one that's been able to address the Crow Girl. It almost seemed like she was just in Aqua's head and that she was only there because Aqua's so messed up in the mind. But judging from Ruby and the producer's reaction, they can both see the Crow Girl. What I'm thinking is that the Crow Girl is now acting. Usually when the Crow Girl pops up, there's crow feathers flying all around her, but in this particular scene, there's no feathers anywhere. So maybe it's another Akane thing. But what I can definitely tell you is that the Crow Girl is going to be the piece that Aqua needs to get Akane off his trail. It's inevitable, really. Why does Aqua need a helper if he has everything everything he needs. The only thing, well, person dragging him down is Akane. And Akane's smart, so she'll know that if Aqua is bringing in someone for this play, there has to be a reason behind it. So she'll confront the Crow Girl and will most likely figure out that she's been helping Aqua all this time. Now I don't know what Akane can do about the Crow Girl, as the Crow Girl seems to be on par with Aqua in terms of planning and thinking ahead, so I don't really think Akane can do anything. And as Akane's focus completely shifts over to the Crow Girl, that's most likely when Aqua will strike. But how do you think the Crow Girl will assist Aqua in his plan? Is the movie arc the final chapter of Oshi No Ko before we get an additional arc surrounding Kana's graduation and Bikomachi's live tour? Before I go, I always ask that you hit the video with a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Click right here to see why Ruby and Aqua's incest is ruining Oshi No Ko.